Like and subscribe. This is the Nightly Fix powered by Foolish Club Media. Please take a look at our YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. If you don't, fuck you and your mama. Like
and your mama.
And your mama. Your granny too. Your Mimi, your granny, your big mama, your whatever else you call them.
I don't like hurting old people, man. Let's not
GG,
do that.
Mama, my dear,
TT,
Ma. That was my granny's nickname.
Ma, just Ma.
Ma and Die. That was what I never called my grandparents. Not Ma and Die.
They're like, it's the first thing he called me. He said, Ma and Da. That's
what my mom, her sisters and brothers, they all called him that too. They didn't call him Mom or Dad. Yep. Just that's some old time shit right there. Old school right there.
I have a question.
Go ahead. As you see, there's no Steve tonight, by the way.
Oh yeah, he's sick. He's a sickly man tonight. Thoughts and prayers for the boy Steven. You know what I mean?
Get your ass together.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, he's trying. He's doing his best. Okay, whatever, dude. As a father, right? Do you ever get annoyed that no one calls you by your name anymore in your house? Does your wife call you dad, or how's that work?
No. I know people who do that. I know. She may refer to me as your daddy when she's talking to them, but she calls me Ron, and we call it. We don't do the mother. Daddy, I know people who do that. Mother, father, I don't. No, we don't do that. No, we don't.
It feels weird though, because it's what is in the name, and the name is very important, and so it's just like you're losing a part of yourself because you're a father now, and someone just all of a sudden, how many kids do you have? You have 3 kids.
I got 3.
So 3 out of the 4 most important people in your life just call you dad.
Which is
they don't even call you Ron anymore, dog.
Yeah, I don't want them to. They don't need to be disrespectful.
They said, fuck Ron, dad.
Yeah.
What's up, dad?
Try them. Let them try that reversed. Let them try to say, fuck dad, Ron. No, man. Once you you're a father and your dad, you like it. You go with it. You love being called dad, right? And it ain't everybody ain't nobody just don't call me Ron or show or fat ass or whatever they call me. That's still. I think I have to get to you, boy. Pissed off old Houston today. We'll have to get to
it. What'd you do? What'd you say?
We'll have to get to it later today.
I didn't even listen today. I was busy. All day.
Get to it later today. By the way, as we said, Serda's sick. Very, very fortunate that this has occurred today and not roughly 24 to 48 hours ago, or we be in real trouble in this show. Because I'd have been out too. Woo! I just now started
this weekend.
Well, not proud of it. Now I don't know. I believe it was drunk.
Were you shitting and puking?
I believe it was drunk. Went out. Shout out to Drunk Shakespeare. Went out, saw Drunk Shakespeare. Pretty cool spot. I mean, they were serious. They out there. They got a lot of those props that those idiots try to bring at the WNBA in their show. Got some dildos and stuff out there that they have fun with, do some things with. No, but it was a good experience. I enjoyed it. Shots and stuff around, celebrating good friend's birthday party, and went out and hung out.
No invite yet again, guys. Yet again, he did something this weekend.
Well,
didn't invite your boy.
It wasn't my plan. It wasn't my party.
Cool. You could easily be like, hey, I know this guy. He's real cool. His name's Big O. I do the podcast with him, work my day job with him. He's one of my best friends. Solid dude. Let him pull up. You know what I mean? Let's let him pull up. And yet again.
Yeah, I mean, most of those were accurate. But
I think they were all 100% accurate. Number one, okay.
They were all. I have the
look, my brother in Christ. Okay, all right.
But man, I got to the crib, and I'm telling you, it was the shots. It was the shots that took me out.
What were you doing? Shots
that's the thing. They were different. I think there were an array of shots.
Well,
usually I can handle it, and it just really hit me out of nowhere, man. I got back to the crib and taking the shoes off, sitting in the bed about 2 a.m. And it was game time, Jack.
Bruh.
It was game time. Next thing you know, hey, I ended up, and I woke myself up at 4:30 in the morning from on the couch. Somehow I went and left the restroom and walked past the bed to the couch. And then I woke up at 4:30 and then argued with my wife. Why you let me just stay out there? I tried to get you to come in there multiple times. She said on the ride home, she said my glasses just kept falling off my face. Just sliding into the cup holder. And she said she was just cracking up. But then for me, where I was wondering what was up, because I'm pretty certain I emptied the tank that night. But I got up and immediately just nothing but fluids. No, nothing but fluids just came. Threw up again in the morning. Ain't nothing. And I didn't really eat nothing at all. I didn't even want no food.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of dinner like later on, and then didn't eat again until lunch today. So I was fighting. But I feel once I ate a little bit after lunch, I started to feel a little bit better. But I was just on the Gatorade, boy. I was struggling.
Bruh, I will say this. That is probably the best thing about being sober. Like, I'm not gonna lie, not fucking waking up hungover, because dog, like, and it only gets worse as you get older. You know what I mean? Last time I got drunk was like when I was like 30, and the hangover that hit hurt.
The hangover can be
so bad.
But
bro.
But again,
one night, it was a great night, not gonna lie. One of the most fun nights of my life. Did some stuff in an Uber that I can't talk about on this podcast. But yeah, dog. Yeah. Anyway, but I was dead. I was dead to the world for like 2 days, dog. That shit sucked.
No, the hangover was rough. And I really don't, and I haven't really had many of them, and I haven't thrown up. Like, people was coming at me like, dude, you're in your 40s. We gotta stop. We gotta stop.
You gotta get your life right, man.
And listen, I have probably thrown up from alcohol like 2 to 4 times since I was 30. Like, this is not a regular occurrence for me. I have not thrown up from drinking in a long, long time. And I don't even know where that's why I said, man, I was throwing up again the next day, emptying the tank and still shitting, trying to figure out what the hell is going on. I ain't ate nothing. And emptied the whole tank.
Them beer shits, dude. Them beer shits is real.
Yeah, it was real. It was rough. But I'm glad I'm good to go. I was getting nervous. Shoot, man. I'm going. I was like, ooh, let's get this right. I hope this ain't no food for it. I was getting nervous, but it was all good. All right, Serda's out. That's all right. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Those of you on the chat, you can jump in as well. I'm sitting there thinking, Osita, and we have talked about Shedeur Sanders. We have talked about Shedeur from the jump when he was can we just get this out the gate? And I believe at the very least Saturday proved that, or Friday night proved that, because he has been the story of the weekend. And listen, I'm not going to go too nuts or too crazy about anything. I don't know if this means that Shedeur actually is going to start. I'll be honest with you. I don't really think he has a chance in hell to start, especially not at the beginning of the season. I think maybe at some point they will start him. There will be pressure to start him to see what they have, but I don't think they want any parts of starting him. And I don't know if there's much that he can do to force himself to get starts, to be able to start. So that being that part of it.
Who else do they have on the squad? They have like five quarterbacks or some shit?
Well, I mean, they have guys to where it is not a stretch to think he would be the best player. So they have Deshaun Watson, obviously.
Okay. He can't do it.
Well, he has the Achilles, and he was sitting there looking weird in Carolina on the bench. But he has the Achilles he's recovering from. And then they have Joe Flacco, who's probably the leader.
Old as shit.
Joe may be – we may be the same age. Maybe Joe's a little younger than me.
So he's like 52.
I think it's
Like close to 60, something like that.
No,
How old are
Joe
you
is.
again? Are you like Father Time or something?
I am 41 years old, and
That's
Joe's got to be pushing. Yeah, Joe's 40. Joe turns 41 in January.
He still
So
wants to get beat up on the field. That's crazy.
Joe is 40, and he was a backup last year. He was a backup 2 years ago in Cleveland until Deshaun got hurt. But he seems to be the leader in the clubhouse right now. And then the other guy there is Dylan Gabriel, the kid that they drafted in the 3rd round ahead of Shedeur, who had no business getting drafted ahead of Shedeur. Nobody understood. And then, yeah, you're right. And then there is Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett, they got over in the trade. Kenny Pickett has a hamstring issue. So does Dylan Gabriel. They did quarterback tiers, and they put Kenny Pickett. This is 50 GMs. They did quarterback tiers, and this just came out yesterday.
Yeah.
And they had Kenny Pickett dead last in a tier by himself. They had him so damn disrespectful. But they had Kenny Pickett last, all by himself, and nobody else in his tier. So listen, I don't, but I'm going to tell you this right now. And even though Shedeur balled out, and he did everything that you would want him to do, right? 14 of 23, over 60% completion. There were some drops. There were some missed throws from him, too. He wasn't perfect. He took some sacks he shouldn't have taken, but he threw 2 touchdown passes, and both of them were big-time NFL throws. Big time. These weren't just, he threw it and the guy ran it. No, he made throws in coverage, multiple guys around him, had to evade the rush, and he looked good. No turnovers, no picks, passer rating over almost 107, 19 rushing yards. A lot of people talked about he's not athletic. He was able to run, picked up 10 yards to pick up a first down, and he led his team in 45 snaps to 3 touchdown drives. Right? He did everything that he was supposed to do. And then, you know what gets me, Osita?
What?
Because I do. I don't think that he's set up to fail. I also don't believe he is set up to actually win this job. I don't think this is going to be set up in a fair fashion that he has a real chance to win this job. I don't. I think he is clearly going to be behind at least Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco. And because right now, after all of that, he's the only quarterback that played. He's still 4th on the depth chart. Depth chart came out today. They still have him 4th behind all those other 3 guys. But go ahead.
So, okay, question. Because I heard some stuff about this. Like, number one, I'm glad he got a little bit of time to shine. His 15 minutes of fame. I hope it continues. I'm glad he got that out there on the field and did his thing. I was at a bar and I saw, that he had 2 touchdowns. And I saw his stats and everything like that. I was like, you know what, good for him. Because of he obviously had some detractors and some doubters in the NFL.
There are people who are saying that, they understand why he was drafted where he was, and it wasn't just some weird shit. Come on, man.
Yeah.
He walked out there and showed that's not a 5th round pick.
That's not a 5th round pick. But okay, I was listening to someone talk about it earlier today, and one of the things he said was that does preseason really matter? You know what I mean? He can do good in this first preseason game, but is that showing how good he'll really be on the field when it really counts in the middle of the season during playoff shit like that?
Well, see, again, we got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
We got to start. So, what would have happened if he'd have gone in here and he was, 8 for, 23, and he threw 2 interceptions instead of 2 touchdowns, and he clearly looked like he was in over his head.
Going on. Yeah,
he was in over his head, which is the complete opposite of what he did, and he took a bunch of young guys. Again, right? He's been 4th string, so he has not been getting a lot of snaps in practice, right? It's not like he's getting all the snaps he wants, man. He's getting a few amount of snaps that he's been able to be prepared for, and then he had to go out there and go, and execute with a lot of guys he hadn't really played with. And so, to me, you got to start somewhere, right? And his start was as good as it could have been, damn near.
Yeah.
You know, the part that gets me about Shedeur is this is what has really annoyed me. Right? Again, I don't care what any of you have to say if you disagree. You know, everybody has opinions. Some people's opinions are just wrong. Okay. If I could just be
like, hey, everybody's got an asshole. You know what I mean?
Some of them are just wrong.
You just spit out bullshit.
Shedeur Sanders was handled in a fashion in which it was not just about football dealing with him and where he was selected. Shedeur Sanders, for whatever reasons, all right, maybe the reports were saying they were his own. Maybe the reports of his father. Whatever it was.
Do you think it was race or pedigree?
I think it was a little bit of everything. I don't think it's just one wrong thing. I think maybe it was a little bit of his attitude rubbed people the wrong way. I think there are racial elements involved in just about everything. I think there was pedigree. I think there was
because of who his father is.
His father and feeling, the issues of what it would be like to have to deal with Dion and all of this stuff. I felt like people felt like he needed to be humbled. I feel like it was a lot of
Dion alone. Didn't he just lose a foot or something? Like, is he okay?
No, he lost a bladder. He had bladder cancer, but
he lost a bladder.
But he has 3 toes that he has lost. So, yeah, he just had bladder cancer that he got.
Leave him alone, bro. Just let him. Yeah, look, he was wild when he was younger. He's probably a little bit of a shit talker. Like, let him be.
No, they're very confident. Like they are. But again, I'm finding it interesting, right? Usually, Osita, and you know this about people. Usually, dudes like Dion or Shedeur, they're going to be themselves, right? And when you hear like certain things about them that are true, you eventually are going to see them come out. What did you say, Dion? He's a bit of a shit talker. Dion has found Christ. If you go listen to Dion don't cuss. He don't know any of that. He still is a shit talker. He is a shit talker all the way through. Dion will let everybody know about what he is, whether it's true or not. He believes it, whether it's him being delusional or not. He is still a shit talker. All right. Shedeur and he is very confident, just like Shedeur. Like you could see, he gets a lot of this from his father. But all the stuff, that stories that started to float out when he started to drop further and further and further about how he was unprofessional, how he was really cocky, how he was going in. I don't know if you remember, we talked about it on this one, that there was some reports out that he went into the interview process with his headphones on the whole time and never took his headphones off. He went into some of the interview processes and told teams, I'm not going to talk to you, or tried to blow off interviews. It just acted in a way that was extremely unprofessional. That's going to come out, especially with how many people are on him. But I will just say, not saying any of those things didn't happen, Osita, but I will simply say, in every single manner, he has acted completely opposite of what people have been saying that he is. The expectation to me, when he got screwed over and was dropped to the 5th round and drafted by the Cleveland Browns, who had already drafted a quarterback who he knew he was better than. You remember his reaction? He ran and jumped in the pool, and he was just like, I just thank them for giving me an opportunity. That don't sound like the guy who walked into the interview with his feet up on the table, listening with his headphones in, and saying, "Hey, if you want the best, draft me." Not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying we ain't seeing none of that. And what has he done through camp? He has been modeled. Every time we hear him speak, he's saying the quote unquote right things. But you know what else he has been? He's still cocky. He still wears his legendary chain. None of that confidence stuff has changed, but all of the bullshit that people kept saying was why he dropped, we just haven't seen. And
okay, well, let me play devil's advocate for a second.
Go ahead and play it.
Let me play devil's advocate. Okay,
I just find that interesting.
So okay, let's say that everything that we heard was true, right? Sure. He did walk in with headphones. He did put his dick on the table and was just like, sign here. You know what I mean? Did the entire thing.
Refused to talk to teams. Did all this.
Refused to talk to teams. All that shit, right? Wouldn't it behoove him, after seeing where it got him, to kind of paint a better picture of himself and be said model athlete and act the way that he has been acting since?
Yeah, but Osita, if that is how you have been your whole life, and you get to a situation in 2-3 months, you're going to hold it down. And especially, and the big thing to me is after the game, he did multiple press conferences and interviews after the game. After the game, he was, I think I did all right. I think it was, he talked about he went the real humble route of all the things he did wrong, right? He said, I really didn't take advantage of the opportunity as well as I could have. He said, I'm just happy we got the win. All the bullshit people you want to hear from they act like they want to hear from you.
That's what I'm saying. It's the shit that people want to hear. So he knows what to say. He could know what to say. It's not that hard to think that he might know or have a PR person or someone being like, hey, this is how you got to act from here on out if you want to get out of this team eventually.
That was if you want a shot. That was the sideline. Then he goes into again and does more of it. Osita, I'm sorry, man. That's Deion's kid. You can go tell Deion. We can go tell Deion, Michael Irvin, Shannon Sharp. Hey, man. Hey, just try to chill out a little bit. That shit's gonna come out, Osita, especially when they have the fuck you moment. And he had a fuck you moment on Friday where people came out there and act like he couldn't play, and he went out there and balled, and he didn't. He is not once. You don't make a flip from April to June, May, June, July, and August. Just that flip when you that way your whole life. I can suppress, Osita, the ego and the confidence and everything that I have for so long. It's gonna come out. It's gonna come out. You can suppress the
Okay, calm down. I already know you're gonna say some weird shit. Calm down. Just calm down. I don't want to hear
the weird.
I don't need to hear it.
The weird humor. I'm just saying, you Osita. You've said it. You got some weird humor and weird shots that you take. You can suppress it for long enough. Let you get an FU moment, and you can let it out. It's gonna come out. You ain't damn sure Osita ain't flipping in a month and a half.
I feel like there's bigger FU moments than just playing, like doing well in the preseason game, though. Let him win something. Let him be the cause of winning something real, and then he can literally flip the bird to everybody.
Sure, he could, but I don't think he will, Osita, because I think the kid is showing us that that's not him. He's not even. His dad is doing it. His dad is up there live tweeting every time he throws a pick. What now? What y'all got to say now? He even at one point, like 2 weeks ago in camp, said, I've told my dad that I'd rather him not come around because I want to kind of do this myself as a man. I want to earn my own stripes. Okay.
So hear me out. If he is this model human that you are saying that he is through his actions, that you've seen him be through his actions,
can I make a correction? I'm gonna make a correction. I'm not saying that he's a model human.
Okay.
I just don't think he is a disrespectful prick and unprofessional son of a bitch that they created as to reasons why he dropped from a first rounder that many people had him in to the 5th round. That's
so what could be the disconnect or the gripe or the malice that NFL coaches, owners, people in general have towards the Sanders family that would make them create a lie, which you're saying is a lie, it could be a lie, create such a farce to feed to the masses, to technically kind of try to ruin his career.
Again,
Why?
I don't know why. And again, and as I said off the top, I don't know if those things aren't true. I'm just simply saying we're not seeing an unprofessional kid. We never saw a kid that was unprofessional when he was at Colorado. The only time he did something that was unprofessional at Colorado was when that Colorado State coach spent the whole week talking shit about him and his father. And then after the game, after they beat him, he went up there and showed his watch in his face like this. That is the only moment we ever saw of unprofessionalism or disrespect. All right. Never saw it before. Now, we saw a flashy kid that wore chains that's been rich his whole life, right? That maybe rubbed some people the wrong way, Osita. But I'm just simply saying we never saw that and those things. And then we've got Deion and his camp coming out and saying those things are an out lie, that he walked up there and put on headphones and that he was disrespectful to coaches or whatever. However it is, I'm just saying we ain't seen it. And again, I don't think, Osita, that he is going to have a chance to be a starter. I don't think he is going to have a chance for this to be a story, especially not early. Now, if he goes out and does this again on Saturday, now he's going to probably push some people's buttons. But I think he will play well. I think the kid can play. But I don't think it is going to be a fair situation for him in regard to him starting. He's coming in as a 5th round pick, and he's still 4th on the depth chart after what he did on Friday. And for me, so that's just one point of it. I just find it just extremely interesting. The person, as you said, this could be a PR work that's with him at all times, and they're making all these calls for him. But it is just interesting that we have seen nothing of the place of this guy is unprofessional. But he has continued to show the confidence and cockiness, because when he scored touchdowns, he showed the watch. When he walked in, he still walked in with his big ass legendary chain, and we still see all of the same Shedeur Sanders that we've all seen, except for that cat who is ultra disrespectful and unprofessional that was alleged to be reported from people.
I'm saying is I gotta believe somebody's a liar. Somebody's a liar.
But Osita, it is that if you're that person, it's gonna come out. Like we can go and tell
after a while it would, but I don't think like your first, the first couple of months, you know what I mean? Like I could get a corporate job right now and be on my P's and Q's and do everything right and show up early, stay late, do what I got to do. Give me about 6 months.
You think it's, man? You know how many times we've tried to see Draymond pull it together and be non-Draymond.
But you're talking about a different person than Draymond. Draymond different though. Draymond. That's like saying, what's his name? What's his name? Beast Mode.
Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch. You can't change that type of dude. You can't. There's no changing the type of dude. There really just isn't. But I'm saying a kid who's grown up with money and he has his mother's white, right?
No.
Who's his mother?
Pilar? You gotta hunt down Pilar. Yeah, no, Pilar.
Anyway,
Pilar Sanders.
Anyway, but he's grown up with money. He's grown up in the world of, being black in a affluent area and stuff like that. So he's able to kind of navigate. I mean, hopefully by now he should be able to kind of navigate like, okay, this is kind of how putting on airs. This is kind of how I have to act around certain people around certain times, blah, blah, blah. Marshawn Lynch is Bay Area, dog. Like you can't.
But Osita,
you can't change that.
He's grown up in a certain way, but you see who the fuck his parents are. He ain't been grown up to be groomed to just not go. He's been grown up to be himself. He ain't been grown up to code switch. Them jokers ain't code switching. In fact, I bet he's been grown up to show his flair. This is. Have you ever seen Deion switch?
Damn.
You see Pilar?
Yeah. God.
Yeah, they're not together no more. But you ain't never.
Wow.
You ain't never seen Deion. Come on now. Think about who Deion was at the time that Deion was, what Deion had the opportunity to pull off.
Christ.
Yeah. What do you think she looked like 23 years ago? All right.
But Christ.
Yeah, she's a winner. But anyway, because I just saw her outside the game. She looked like she was supposed to be 20 years older than what she actually looked like. But
crazy. Good for him, dude.
Osita, I don't.
Deion, dog.
They're no longer together, by the way.
That's who he got pregnant, though, dog. Think about everything else. Like, that's wild.
But I just I don't think we're looking at somebody who just all of a sudden just ups and just shifts and changes who they are. I don't. Yeah. Maybe you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. That PR, I'm certain maybe they sat down and said, maybe some of this hurt you, but ultimately, man, I think this kid's going to be who he is. Yeah. And I think it was very, very clear. You would be pissed off as a hornet if you were him. And everything, you got people prank calling you, acting like that you are the Atlanta Falcons or something. Or
whatever happened to that kid?
I don't know. His dad is the defensive coordinator of the Falcons, and he got fined. But you got people calling you, tricking you, and where you thought it was over, but it really wasn't over. And you know what he did? He was just gracious. That shit don't, man. Like them kids, young kids, they don't give a damn. The kid they're gonna walk around there with the legendary chain across his thing, they're gonna show his watch still. No, that kid, like it is. I don't know, man. I just for me, it makes me wonder how much the unprofessionalism was.
Yeah.
Because and I've had this conversation about other folks like Eric Bieniemy. You wonder. I've heard Eric Bieniemy speak for years as the offensive coordinator of the Chiefs. And everyone keeps saying he doesn't get job because he's a bad communicator in his interviews. And I'm like, what the fuck is he saying that is so far removed from this person who sounds like he knows what he's like, that if he just went in there and just faked that to get the job. But it's interesting. All right, let's get a little heat check in. Let's see where. Let's grab.
You want a heat check?
I want a heat check.
You want a heat check?
Okay, let's calm down. I don't know where you're going with this.
Do you want a heat check?
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. So for today's heat check, brought to you by Big O, brought to you by the Nightly Fix, brought to you by Foolish Club Media. Make sure that you like and subscribe. I want to talk about golf. That shit boring. It can be boring.
Can be.
It can be. But this weekend or last week, it just got a very serious upgrade. And I don't mean new clubs. They finally added a little bit of flavor to the fairway. And I mean flavor by the likes of Cat Williams. Cat Williams is now working with the PGA Tour as an on-course correspondent. And yes, the man that gave you Pimp Chronicles is now walking those lush, manicured greens with the same energy that he brought to the stage.
Oh my.
All right, let's watch.
At home, it's frigid in Memphis. If you're playing right now, this is not even the same place. In an hour or two, it's going to be 300 degrees. See how your golf game is then.
We had so much fun yesterday, and my text message just blew up. So I gotta bring you back to just let everybody know it wasn't a fluke.
Oh, absolutely. I am a lover of the game, and it's going to be a great day. Thank God it's Flat Stick Friday. I think it's going to be all about the putts.
How excited are you about following Scotty Scheffler? It's a GOAT following a GOAT.
Man, I've watched that guy's ankles so much. Like, he's got the best ankles in the business. And if you could just get your ankles to do what his ankles do, it would change your game. But yeah, it's going to be great.
Yesterday, Sepp on the 18th tee looked at his caddy and goes, man, it's a tough day to be a fat guy, ain't it? You gonna tell Wayne again. Today it's a tough day to be a fat guy again. I was howling. I was like, I resemble that remark too. Everything changes. Everybody has a game plan till you get punched in the face, and that's what a bogey or a double bogey will do. Scotty, it doesn't faze him. They get punched in the face and stick to the game plan.
I looked at the yardage, and I don't even have that glove. It was great to see him do it so effortlessly. As a man of great delusion, I envision myself as the greatest golfer around the course, but this is like an out-of-body Caucasian experience for me. It's like seeing a bigger, better, stronger, faster me. I love it.
All right, let's cut it there. Look,
I got some thoughts.
I don't know what it was about this, but I could literally watch it all day. I watched a shit ton of TikToks on him just kind of commenting on Scotty and the entire game. It was the banter, the jokes, the familiar yet annoying voice, but kind of just like at a lower tone. You know what I mean? He had a little bit more bass in his voice. It was nice. I love it, honestly. And I feel like it's the PJ's best move in years. Like, you want young people, you want diversity, catch your guy, By next season, I want him mic'd up on every hole, giving out life advice between drives. Golf needed Cat Williams, and just keep him forever. Golf's never been this funny, this relatable, or this black. Now, all we need is for him to show up in Augusta with a lime green mink and some gold spikes.
See, that's where I was, and maybe it's the first time. Who knows? Maybe he was nervous. Maybe he was. That wasn't Cat Williams, though.
It was Golf Cat. You know what I mean? It wasn't Cat. Cat's not going to be crazy Cat while he's on the course. You can't.
Well, it just. I don't know how I felt by an extremely watered down version of Cat Williams, who appeared to be trying to fit in to the place he was instead of making the place he was at fit into him.
Do you think he's like the way he is on stage all the time?
No, but I wouldn't say that, but he's on stage right there. Like, he's on stage. He's
on stage technically, but I'm talking about, like, do you think he's like this sweaty, running around like a crazy person, acting wild, yelling?
But it wasn't even jokes? Just that, like it didn't even sound like the same, like cat and jokes. Like, it was a real watered down version of it. And
look, but it's for golf. Golf is a watered down version of sports. Okay. It's the most boring sport out there. I think he brought a little bit of flavor to it. He brought a little bit of spice.
I don't know. I think maybe if you didn't know Cat real well, you kind of liked it. But I think the point of it is, this is Cat Williams, because he wasn't screaming with Shannon, but he sure as hell was Cat Williams. And he sure as hell created buzz. When I think of Cat Williams, I think
he was also drunk during the Shannon Sharp interview, because the whole thing is supposed to be taking shots.
Would that be a problem for him to have? Would that be a problem for him to have some cognac right there? I wouldn't mind him a little toasted. I'm just saying he can even stay within the noise rules. But for me, like, if you don't bring Cat out there, like, one of the great things about Cat is, oh my God, I don't know what the fuck he gonna say.
So what, you think he's supposed to start talking about Diddy while they're putting? You know what I mean? Like,
that would have been real to make some motherfuckers real uncomfortable.
Come on.
Oh, a Diddy joke in there? A Diddy joke in there? Yes. Not just, I love Scotty's ankles. I've always been into his ankles.
That was the best joke. That was such a good joke.
I know
he has great ankles. Did you see his ankles?
That's like Jim Gaffigan doing it. That's like Jim Gaffigan going over there to do that. For me, if they're gonna do this, which I like the seeds and the thoughts, but you got to be getting Cat Williams and not K whatever who that was.
Okay, you had time too. You took your time to come up with the joke.
Hey, Will, or whoever
you couldn't even do it.
I can't remember.
Couldn't even do it because you know you're wrong.
Is that his real name? Is Cat Williams his real name?
I don't know, man. Let's just what
that was Micah
back in the day.
That was Micah Williams.
His real name's Micah. Oh God.
Yes, that was Micah Williams. We saw. Yeah. That was Micah Williams. That wasn't.
He looked
Cat.
like a Micah though. He does look like a Micah.
That was Micah Williams out there. Like that. Like I don't know. To me, if he's just gonna be chilling out there. Like that was like, hey, he just happened to be at the event and we're going to grab the mic. But if he's supposed to be walking around with him like that, I want to listen like, oh my God, what the fuck he about
I'm
to
just
say?
saying, get some more relatable people into this sport. You know what I mean? I saw this thing a while back about Schoolboy Q, right? You know who Schoolboy Q is?
Yeah,
you got that? Yes. Yeah, the rapper. Okay. So apparently he's really big into golf. He loves golf. And he's been interviewed a bunch of times while playing and, after playing and does podcasts about it. And I think it's called like Par 3 or some shit like that, where he talks about how golf has like really elevated his life game because he's able to kind of like relate some of the things that he's learned via golf into his everyday life. And coming from where he comes from, he thought he would never pick up a golf club. And it's kind of crazy that he's able to kind of do this and his life has come to this point. I like that kind of inclusion. I like that kind of diversity. Seeing people who you wouldn't ever think were into the sport be into it. I'm sure there's a shit ton of people out there that we would never guess they're like golfers or like,
sure,
badminton players or tennis players or something like that. All these old boring sports, get these people into it. Get them in front of the camera.
Cool. My thing is if we're going to get Cat Williams to be a big part, he's gonna follow him and he's gonna be like, for me, I'm just saying, for me, I would want it to be some semblance of Cat Williams and not Michael Williams. And we got Micah.
A wise, dumb person once told me that everyone has opinions and sometimes they're wrong. Okay.
Yeah, that was a good ass opinion. I think you know it. That was a good ass opinion.
Wrong, Ron.
Like I want to watch.
You know what's in the word wrong? Ron. You can't spell wrong without Ron.
I want to watch Cat and think this motherfucker might yell in their backswing. this motherfucker might take off across the green.
You want the illusion of ignorance? Is that what you want?
Just
a little bit.
Just the thought that Cat Williams may come out and not Micah.
Yeah.
Not Micah.
Okay. Well,
just
we had Micah. That's where we started.
We got Micah. We got Micah.
We got Micah.
Hey, I've been a little hot on social media today. People got mad at me.
What?
I just got to be honest here, and I think this is. I almost didn't want to speak this up, but I tend to just say here. I'm going to say how I feel about things, and I'm able to listen. I'll listen to folks, and if I'm wrong or if I hear something else that may make me open to rethinking my thoughts on something, I'm definitely into that. I've changed opinions on this show, changed things, but by different things that I've heard from you guys. So today for the Texans, tight end, this is a report. My man DJ Bieniemy, ESPN, said tight end Brevin Jordan is hurt. It's not good. He went up to catch a pass and hurt his knee. He couldn't put any weight on it, and he was carted off. He is legit crying loudly, was even shouting no. If you remember, he tore his ACL last year, so he was just returning from that. It was a very somber mood in the bubble. Then he went on to say, CJ Stroud is being consoled by tight end Dalton Schultz. So if you remember, during this past season, CJ Stroud threw a touchdown pass, an amazing catch to Tank Dell.
Yeah. And
Tank Dell caught it and had a horrible knee injury. Probably going to miss this season. If he comes back, he'll miss most of the season. I think he'll probably miss this season.
So what are you trying to say, Ron? Your next words better be very, very well worded.
Well, I'm just telling you what he did. And CJ Stroud also in that game, in that moment, was distraught. Um, Many folks reported that he was extremely emotional, nearly led to tears, if not led to tears. I also just had a cousin, shout out to DeAndre Johnson, who was 15 rows up in the section in which that happened. And he said, and I quote, I thought CJ was going to jump in the back of the ambulance with him. In the way he was rolling. Like it really bothered him. Joe Mixon this time had to console him and try to get him together. And it affected him on the field. The next time they went out and got the ball, he probably had his worst series of the game and really struggled, missed some assignments, missed some throws. You could tell Osita that this really affected him. And this was my thought, and this is why I have pissed folks off. And I said this earlier today after just waiting. I tried to wait. We actually had somebody else call in who was there, and he gave us an account of everything he saw. Because at this point, I'm just reading he had to be consoled by Dalton Schultz, who some people may argue is the softest guy on the team. But, and when I say software football player, not a normal human. But guy we had on said, I asked him, I said, what was kind of the mood and the reaction around everyone else after this happened? He said, the person that really only stuck out in the reaction was CJ. And you can tell he was extremely emotional about it. He walked off and tried to walk off to an area by himself. And finally, when D'Amico called the team in to talk to him, then he came back and then they continued practice. My thing is, CJ's the last player that I would want to have read was being consoled by somebody. And I want to make this clear, Osita. This ain't about he's soft. These are some things that I saw text in from people. He's soft. He needs to grow a pair. He needs to find his balls. He needs to stop being a bitch. These are some things that were texted by people today. It's not any of that for me. You can be emotional. I don't care. Yeah, I can understand that. You tears, cry, whatever. Yeah, I cry. Osita cries. It doesn't matter. You can be emotional. That's fine. I just think there are a few guys on that team and on that field that they are the ones that, to me, are being looked at as, are we good? They are the one, like D'Amico, Christian man just like CJ. Yeah. Obviously, D'Amico is older, and I understand it, but he is the head coach. D'Amico's the head coach. CJ Stroud, I would think some of it is by the position he plays, but also just him. He is, if not, this is his team, Osita, basically.
Yeah, he's a leader. He's a leader.
He is not just like him, Will Anderson. This is their team, right? Those three that I look at, those are the guys I think everybody's looking at. All right, we're good, right? We're good. Those are the guys that you would think of, hey, we are good. Let's go. Let's pick it up. Not to say they don't react, not to say they don't have, but those are the ones that you look at because of their status on the team. To, man, we want to make sure they got, like, you're hopeful that they have it together in these situations. And you can understand once we leave and all this and in the moments, but you got it together. D'Amico, as soon as it hit, man, you could tell in his press conference, he almost in his voice sounded like he tried to downplay it, Osita, like it wasn't like, hey man, we're good, we're good. He gave off as the leader of the whole damn thing. He gave off an appearance of we're fine. We're fine. We're gonna withstand this, whatever it is. I care about the kid. We know we care about the kid, but he wasn't we didn't lose him. This is much more a leader thing than a he's soft thing. And to me, we saw this happen as I just went through and the Chiefs came, and it affected him on the field, right? They lost that. They lost that game. They were in that game when that happened. And then the next quarter, they got boat raced. And there were bad decisions made by him, and you could tell he was affected. And I could just be dead wrong on this, and that it is a new day, and guys are looking. My co-host Clint went in a different direction, talking about, he may lose some guys in that locker room, and that may look at him differently from that. I'm not saying that's not true. That dude played in the NFL for 5 years. He's been around locker rooms like that a lot more than I have. My just deal is hey, man, you the dude.
Yeah.
You're the dude that you would be. Look, he's the last person that I wanted to see. Yeah, man, he had to be consoled.
Well, in a situation like that,
does it make sense?
No, it makes sense, because you want a leader to have the mental fortitude to be able to kind of continue to lead even in the face of like some sort of adversity, right?
Right. Yes.
So it's not just it's not another injury, because like, okay, look, honestly, what it sounds like, because the relationship that him and Tank Dell had, right? Both Christian men, like you said earlier. They did Bible study together. That was a lot of things that they were talking about on the news. They were best friends. He saw his best friend get what we can assume, or what we could at that time, you could only really assume before time passed and people kind of really figured out what was going on with his knee. He saw his best friend go through a career-ending injury, right?
Yeah,
potentially. But like on the field, like you're thinking, oh man, that boy's done. Because I remember watching that game. I was with you. We watched that game together at that bar. Yep. And I was like, oh shit, his knee. Oh shit, his knee. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, damn, So that could be a traumatic experience, And I could see how, from him throwing the pass to someone else and then that person getting injured, it could mess with your head. And I get that he's supposed to be, like you said, a leader. And he's supposed to kind of like be strong in those situations. But we're judging this based off of a practice, and we're judging this based off of like the accounts of people who were there when it happened. You know what I mean? Like it was right then and there. Give the man 20, 30 minutes. Why are we judging how he's going to be as a leader and stuff like that off of like the first like 30 minutes of seeing an injury? Did he leave the practice? Was he completely done for the day?
No.
Or are we just saying that within the first like couple of minutes after that shit happened, he had to go walk away and kind of take a breath?
No,
because I don't see anything wrong with having to go take a breath and being like, okay, whoa, that was crazy. That sucks. But all right, cool. Let's let me go get my shit together before I have to go be in front of everybody.
Okay, if that's sure, that may be a way that he handles it, right? Now, I will say, in the Tank Dell situation, he didn't have 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They had a game, right?
Yeah.
They had to go, right? And I think the other guys and the other leaders on the team didn't have 20 or 30 minutes, right? And they got to roll. Like, again, man, like I'm not trying to change who this cat is. I don't mind that he shows his emotions or shows or anything. But I do, for me, when I look at, if we just say the triangle of leaders that they have to lead this way, DeMeco, CJ, and Will Anderson. Those are the three. Will is the leader of the defense, CJ the leader of the offense, and DeMeco the whole team.
Don't forget Toro. Toro's up there.
We can add Toro to it.
Yeah,
that if we look at
on his name,
if we put a diamond out, if there is adversity that hits this team, I feel very confident that DeMeco will care and will have a human feeling about whatever said adversity it is, but he will, as one of the leaders, will be the one that is galvanizing everybody and will be the one that is giving the push and encouragement to move forward. I think Will Anderson will be one of the guys that is galvanizing people, giving the push to encourage. We're good. We're in a good place, whether he believes it or not. Osita, I believe Will. I have no feel that Will Anderson will do that. I have no feel that Toro will look at these guys and clap and cheer his ass off and fly from the ceiling and do all of those things in a way to say, I think so. I'm guessing.
I've never seen that.
That he will will do all of those
bulls
things.
Have wings.
He will do all of those things in which, hey, I'm leading the group and I'm ready to go and I'm encouraging. I'm not 100% that CJ is not going to be one of the guys that D'Amico and Will and Toro are having to encourage and push forward. And again, I had a conversation with my wife downstairs about this before, and she said this just may be a way that CJ leads. And this is in his
process, fucking beautiful.
A way that he leads.
Yeah.
And I could hear that. But for me, I think that is well, I don't know. Is he going to be affected or is he going to be affected by his performance? Which maybe in his mind, his mind is okay. But is he going to be affected by his performance? And will the guys be thinking to themselves? Because in this, which is very, very important, which maybe is different than other things. Because I don't just put this to football. I put this to in your field, a leader of a band. I put this in any field, a leader of a company. I think a big thing is the people who look towards you, believe that you're good. And I wonder when adversity hits or a situation like that, if they believe their lead dog is ready to roll.
So are we worried about his leadership skills in times of adversity or his performance in times of adversity? Or are we worried about both?
I think a little bit of both. I think a little bit that time in Kansas City, would
it be okay if he was crying his fucking eyes out, but like still hitting bombs?
Oh man, he cried his eyes out and like, all right, here, man, we're good, and his performance, cool, and it didn't affect him, and the guys were still believing, straight, Like, let me ask you this let's just be honest. We can do this. We can do this here. You think there's some dudes in that locker room of those two incidents that have been there? You think there's some dudes that looked at him sideways, or you think everybody's in there rocking with it? Honestly, and I'm not trying to pressure you anything. These guys,
no. It's just, I mean, I think that there are going to be some people who look at him differently, but they shouldn't. They shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like they, everybody, especially in a fucking era of mental health and all these things that we talk about and stuff like that, how men need mental health, and especially men with high stress jobs such as this, and athletes and stuff like that need mental health. How are we as a society, or are we as a team going to look down on somebody for kind of feeling emotions in the midst of a crisis? Like, I understand that he needs to be able to lead. I get that. I do.
And I want you to be, I want to be clear, Osita. I wouldn't even have this. Like, I'm not even thinking about this for any other players. It's those three.
Yeah.
I feel like it's unfair, but and maybe this
it's the quarterback thing. Like, we talk about this all the time. There is an unfair expectation that is placed upon quarterbacks. It's just how it is.
And
they are held to a different standard. Their stats are just looked at differently. Their age is looked at. Everything about them is just looked at differently. And I get that.
And the head coach and the things like that. Like for me, to me, Osita, with this Foolish Club, if bad shit starts happening with Foolish Club, like I want you all, everybody that works with us, to believe that Serda and I are gonna be up to the task to handle the situation.
Wait, are you calling yourself the leader?
We can pull the curtain back. Yes, one of the leaders and decision makers of
I see myself as the leader, seeing that I'm on top and you're on the bottom.
Sure.
See, you're down there, I'm up here. See that? See how that goes?
Sure.
See how that goes?
Sure. That's fine. You can even take me out, but we all know, and people can hear, and you all know. But again, I want you all to have the belief, like, hey man, these motherfuckers ain't about to just run us into the tank right here, or they ain't gonna lose their minds here a little bit. We'll be able to figure some things out. And I just think from that perspective, there is more fairly or unfairly expected of you.
Yeah, well, I hope as a Texans fan that it doesn't completely kind of throw off his mental. You know what I'm saying? Because I could see how it would, it's a stressful position, a stressful job. And, honestly, I didn't want to say this out loud. When I told you to be very careful with your next couple of words, I thought you were going to say that it was CJ's fault. You know what I'm saying?
No.
That's where I thought you were going with it. I was like, where the fuck is he going with this? Like, I thought you were going to be like, oh, he throws another one. Fucking old dude gets hurt. Like, I was like, damn, dog. Like, let's not do that.
No.
Mostly because I'm sure, even though he knows, he should know it's not his fault. It's just, bad luck and shit. But even in the back of his head, he's probably still thinking like, damn, dog, like, maybe if I had just thrown a little quicker or, let it fly a little longer or something like that, something could be different. So I'm sure there's a lot of stress that goes on with that entire thing. And there's probably a lot of self-blame and, some shit going on, especially if he's as good as friends with these people and is as good of a leader as he is to this entire team. Like what your wife said is honestly, I agree with that. Like maybe this is how he leads, we can't all be led by nothing but hard asses all the time. Sometimes a little bit of emotion and a little bit of softness is necessary. What I'm saying?
Again,
Showing a little bit.
And again, I don't think D'Amico's a hard ass. I don't think D'Amico leads that way.
Yeah.
But like at a point, I think D'Amico is sick about what happened with Brevin and what happened to CJ Gardner-Johnson the week before. But immediately he goes, guys, get in. And I got to get you. And right then and there, they're like, all right.
Yeah, time to go. Coach is ready.
The captain is there. And now CJ got to go and grab the huddle. Yeah. And his tight end had to come over there and check up on him, make sure he's all right. Again, I want to make it very clear, I'm not on the train of he's a bitch because he's showing his emotions or he's soft. I don't think CJ's soft. CJ plays in the NFL. CJ stands and gets hit. CJ's been through, I don't even know the man. But I know some things of the man. CJ has been through tough shit in his life. From family and things that he's had to deal with. I don't think he's a soft guy at all. I do think there are just moments where it's got to be everything we've ever heard in football, and maybe this is changing. I don't know that it is. But for a quarterback, you can't lose the guys in the locker room having faith in you. And in any way. And I don't think that has occurred yet. But I wonder if everybody 100% believes CJ's got it. We ain't got to worry about him in big adversity. Maybe
this is just a little bit of I guess like a reminder. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it happened to his best friend against the Chiefs last year. And this is probably the first time that he's experienced again since, you know what I'm saying? Like since that accident. and maybe now he can kind of take that and be like, okay, cool. I can't lose my shit when this happens. Like I have to because the first time it happens, you're like, oh shit, that's crazy. Second time, oh shit, that's crazy. But okay, maybe I should act a little bit better. Third time, you're like, okay, let me just remember to lock in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. No, listen again. I want to be. I want to be fair to his youth too, and his age, and just everything he's dealing with. Like you said, the stresses and things. It's just, I just think it is as unfair as it may be. I think the expectations are different for him. By the way, how long do you? How long with someone does it take for you to become best friends?
Instantly.